RPAs, hey, we have Brad Smith, game developer of Lizard, a modern NES game released in 2015. Brad Smith, welcome.
Hi there.
Hello. I have to say, Lizard is incredible. I cannot believe you made this game. Yeti was always so perplexed by how all those figures made their way onto a TV screen from a tiny cartridge. I know the digital age changed the gaming world, but to design a game intended for NES on an actual cartridge, simply amazing. Brad Smith, I cannot wait for the entire world to play your game. So let's get right to it. The Q&A on Hey. Question 1. Why lizards?
Why lizards? I've always liked lizards since I was a kid. I had a pet iguana. But also, when I was very young, one of my favorite games was Bubble Bobble, where you play a little dinosaur that blows bubbles. I used to play that with my dad a lot, and with my sister. When we were, I don't know how old we were, like 5 or 6, my mom made us dinosaur costumes for Halloween. And for me, that was dressing up as that video game. So that theme kind of goes back to that. I kind of wanted to make a game where you have different abilities and each of them sort of lets you do different things. And I thought putting on a lizard could kind of represent that.
So would you say that's the object of the game? Because I have to say, what I loved most is while the areas became familiar, you never truly memorized the path. There was like no one right way to go. I felt like you'd go forward and backwards and always come across an area that you never knew existed, or you thought you knew everything and then somehow you saw something new and you were like, what? It was crazy. So, but I have to say, like, is that the object of the game?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make a game that was kind of quiet about telling you what to do. Like, I wanted there to be lots of options. I like
infinite lives.
Yep, there's infinite lives. I like seeing people play it for the first time and they just go to the right. But if you just keep going to the right, eventually you run out of places to go. You reach the end, and then they realize they can go up and down or maybe left, and everything kind of loops back on itself. There's not really, I wouldn't say there are dead ends anywhere. So the object, you want to find all these lizards. Each of them has its own different ability. There's one that can bounce, there's one that can swim, and eventually you'll find your way to kind of like a boss challenge for each lizard if you keep looking. But it may take some time to find your way around.
So what sparked your interest in the game development? Like, what I think is amazing is you Kickstarter raised the funds for this game. Your goal was $12,000. Like, $12,000, and you raised over $18,000. Like, I did the math. That's 325 supporters. That's an average of just upwards of $50 each. Like, that is so attainable for, young feature game developers. Like, any tips, other individuals seeking the same kind of thing?
I would say that budget was that's not the entire budget of the game, but
oh, good to know.
The goal for the Kickstarter was to make sure it would be viable to make cartridges. Like developing the game, that's on my time. All I have to manage is my cost of living, but to get it in cartridges, I have to hire someone else. They need to buy pieces of things to put together. So that was the primary goal of the Kickstarter, that and kind of raising a bit of interest for it.
So what's the distribution process like? Like, how did you feel holding that cartridge the first time? I thought it was so cool. I love that it was white. You can see it down there. But, like, have you presented the game to any, like Nintendo or any big companies that could potentially pick it up?
I don't know. Self-publishing is fairly easy these days. I would think about putting it on a console like PlayStation 4 or Switch, but right now that doesn't seem commercially viable for this game. If it picks up, then I'll definitely look into it.
I think it's so fun. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe that I have found a loop in the game. I just kept falling and falling and falling and falling. Did you put that in there intentionally?
Well, there is one place where you can fall for a very long time, and it might not quite behave like a world that has, ends, and you might be able to keep going around and around.
Is it close to the lines where there was the see-through boxes? You know which world I'm talking about? It's like the see-through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're talking about the same spot then. I loved it.
I call that the void zone.
The void zone.
But their space doesn't behave like it does everywhere else in the game.
It really doesn't. I just kept jumping, and then I'd land beside a panda. It was great. I have to say though, I tried easy mode on the computer because I could switch between the two once starting. I didn't do that when I was playing the NES version on the cartridge, but I did appreciate the slowed down mode. Now I know easy mode. Does it offer anything else for younger players?
No, the easy mode in this game is just, it's slower, so you have more time to react. When I started designing the game, I was too far along before I thought about putting in an easy mode, and I wish I'd done that sooner. But I would have had to plan out the game a lot differently, I think, to accommodate other things. I think my next game will have a more broader range of very easy and maybe a harder mode.
That's great. Because I have to say, everything kills you in your game. I love all the characters.
It is dangerous to touch most things in the game, yes.
You can. My favorite character is the panda. I absolutely love the panda. The next would be the purple scaredy cats. But I have to say the least suspecting character that kills you are those blue toads. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
I mean, the green ones don't kill you.
Nope.
But the blue ones, they will knock your socks off. What was that? Is that to throw people off, or are they the same creature, or?
Well, I guess one frog is harmless and one frog is poisonous. I put little horns on it, but yeah, it's not something you'll know just to look at it. You have to encounter it and try it out. I went back and forth on those for a long time. A lot of people were annoyed by the poison frogs.
Throw me off.
There's what I'm looking for as a game designer. I'm trying to provoke some emotional response to seeing something or doing something, a choice you made. And every time I tried to make, if I took out the blue frogs, they make people stop and think, and sometimes they make people angry, but I think that's okay. You want to be a little bit angry at a video game.
Well, it made you have to reconsider your path. I know there are plenty of times where the blue frogs were there, and they didn't allow me to go up the way I wanted, so I kind of coaxed it out of where I thought it would leave and then follow me, but then it didn't, so I was like, I'll find someplace else. and that's the beauty of it, is you can. So now I would love for you to show us something about your game. Brad, you were so awesome, and you set up this Bluetooth controller. You think you can play something for us?
All right.
Any warp whistles in Lizard that we should know about?
Are there warp whistles? They're not really. What's that thing? Okay.
So yes, play something for us, Brad.
All right, so here at the start of the game, you have the Lizard of Knowledge. In this lizard, you press the button and you can learn things about things. This is telling you to touch this purple stone that saves your game. And here you can talk to this panda, and it tells you to stay away from them. If you go touch the panda, they'll make good on that promise. But there's also a hint that you can jump on its head, which is a good way to get past it. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't find at first. If you keep going to the right and go up on top of this cave here, you'll reach this snowy mountain. And if you keep going up the snowy mountain for a bit, you can find a friendly creature who has a lot to say. So just up here, it seems hard to proceed. There's another panda here, but there's also this penguin. And the Lizard of Knowledge has this other hint that you can actually stand on the penguin. But not for too long, because it gets angry. So you gotta keep moving. But once you get up here, just off to the left, there's sort of a pole indicating where you can jump down. And here's Super Moose. So Super Moose is actually a friend to your lizard. And Super Moose has a lot of helpful things to say about the game. So here there's a hint that if you have the bouncy shoes that the Lizard of Bounce has, you can bounce across wide gaps. And here's a hint about, you might meet a cat, and if you have problems with a cat, this is the hint about what to do. You can jump on its nose. So that's Super Moose, who's one of the friendly creatures in this game. Not all creatures are, and you need to have the Lizard of Knowledge, because only the Lizard of Knowledge can speak. The others have other powers, but they don't know how to use language.
Amazing! Amazing! So that would be what you want people. They need to find Super Moose, is what you're saying.
He's a very helpful character.
Amazing. Thank you. It's so awesome, and I'm so happy that I can tell Yeti that he doesn't need to break open the cartridges anymore to free the little animals on the screen. You know, I think Yeti played a little too much Sonic, but you know, it's just amazing. I have to thank you, Brad. Thank you for coming here, sharing, you know, your gift with creating games and everything. If you head on over to lizardnes.com, you can pick up your copy of Lizard. You can play it on the computer, as you've seen here, or you can play it on the NES console if you have it. It's great. It's a white game. It's amazing. And you can also read about this in the copy of The Sound November, available across 200 locations across Niagara. But I have to ask Brad, you know, I know you can design a game, but the real question is, can you make this toy work?
Can I make this toy work?
Can you?
I think I've seen something like this before. Does it light up if it goes fast enough? Because I have seen something like that.
Amazing! So not only can he design games, he can make that abstract toy work. Brad, thank you so much. Be sure to check out lizardnes.com as well as thesound.rocks. Pick up your copy. It's going to be great. I know the Yeti's going to be so happy to know he doesn't need to break open those cartridges. Thank you, Brad.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank
you.
you.
It's been nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, too. All right, guys. Have a great day.
Goodbye.
Bye.